we don't require to do any kind of osteoplasty as the articular chain is intact like this. Then we have the other scenario wherein we have an intact stapes and there is no stapes superstructure, then we are left with only mobile foot plate. But to mind you that the presence of stapes would increase the results of your osteoplasty than its absence. So that means when you do any assembly on stapes, the results would be any day better than not having it. So now we need to understand some of the physiological, the anatomical definitions, like when you do a ossicular graft in canal wall down mastectomy, the ossicular graft that you are sculpting should not exceed 0.15 millimeters lateral to the horizontal part of the facial nerve. Otherwise, it would cause something like a tenting effect like this. So that we have to keep in mind. And always we need to carry this instrument when you do osteoplasty. Never ever try to hold the ossicle with a artery forceps, which would break the ossicle, or it will jump out of your holding forceps. And the rule of temporal bone dissection or ear surgery, we all know that an ossicle gone to ground is never found. So after all, at the end of surgery, you are tired with, and after sculpting for 15 full minutes, and then it goes to the ground, then you are get frustrated. So please have these instruments like burr tips, very standardized. This without this, never attempt osteoplasty. If you have one burr tip, it is not done. You need to have a variety of all the sizes, diamond and cutting burr, and then start it. In the first scenario, this is the patient who had intact stapes. After all removal of the disease, so we are left with stapes. So what we can do is that here we have today short columella. Either you can use the patient's own ossicles if they are healthy enough, or you can use a cartilage piece, let it be septal or cartilage or whatever it is. I will not go into the details of whether to use or not. It's up to you, your judgment. So now I am using incus on a stapes like this, or malleus head I am using. So we need to use a 0.6 mm burr, cutting burr, to make the facet for that. And once we are done with the grafting, you see the exact fit that we get with the burr if you use the proper size burr. 0.6 mm burr is an ideal one to make a facet so that you have a very good fit. Sometimes in the beginning of my career, I used to think that suppose the patient tilts his head, will my ossicle fall back? But it is true if you have not done a correct fit. But with this fit, I am quite confident that we will not lose the ossicle familiar. So now we are having another technique that we use in the septal small cartilage, which is preserved in 70% alcohol. And my feeling is that septal small cartilage, after 5 days of preservation in alcohol, will become very stiff to use. But if it is 2-3 days old, then it's all the more better. So now you can make a fenestra with a 0.6 mm burr. The only thing is we need to hold with our hand. So we have to understand that we have to use a correct size glove. If you use an oversized glove, you will not be able to hold the septal small cartilage with ease. And again, you have to make a small V-shaped cut here so that it will fit exactly the measurements of stapedius tendon, so that it will not fall. So this is another way of securing the ossicular graft, other than if you don't have ossicle up your hand, you can use the cartilage also. And when the patient has in a revision patient, this is the when I was doing a cholesteatoma surgery for the revision, the entire foot plate was covered with the facial nerve. So in these scenarios, so I don't venture to lift the facial nerve off the foot plate and do some kind of assembly, so which would either result in some kind of facial trauma. So in this scenario, you can see the entire foot plate was actually covering the the foot plate. So I have not attempted any ossiculoplasty in this patient. So some may do, but in my hands it may not work. So that is the reason I did not attempt to do it. So again, this is a malleus, can be used with the ease. The only thing is we need to have the correct size. But see the cut that I made here, so that it will fit exactly into the stapedius tendon, so that it will not fall and create troubles to you. So that is the kind of, and you can suppose if the patient has no suprastructure, then what we are left with is the foot plate. So we can, the ideal graft in this scenario is malleus. We can do a good sculpture in the malleus. But one thing we need to understand that the malleus is a bent bone, it's not a straight one. So we need to make it straight with our bud so that it will exactly fit. Otherwise it will go and touch the horizontal part of the foot plate or the promontory. So we have to make it straight like this. So spending another 2 minutes extra would go a long way to the results what you get for the hearing. So you can sculpture, and then you have one thing is that we have to keep a small piece of gel, temporalis fascia on the foot plate so that it will not directly submerge the foot plate or directly cushion. So that's it. You see the height of the mid ear can be increased by keeping a small piece of cartilage on the floor of the attic like this, so that you can maintain the and sometimes you don't have malleus, still you can do a long columella with a septal spur cartilage. But only thing is we need to practice a lot of times to sculpture the correct size. This one, sometimes you may also actually cut your finger also if you are not careful enough to how to sculpture. You need to do under microscope. So you need to keep a small piece of gel foam here and put it. These are having very good results. Sometimes people think that the cartilage may absorb over a period of time. In my own revision, when I opened it after 7 years time, for a small recurrence of the foot ossicular, the ossicle was still violent. So I believe that the cartilage will not absorb over a period of time, as we believe. So you keep a small piece of cartilage here so that you can increase the height of the middle ear. You can maintain the. And when you have a pediatric cholesteatoma, this was a case about 10 years old boy. So I have used a malleus again in this patient so that there was no ossicular child. You can see this one. So it gives good results. And when the patient has a situation like this, horizontal part partly obscuring the foot plate. So in this scenario, I tried and did a ossiculoplasty by keeping a small piece of temporalis fascia between the ossicular graft and the facial nerve. Sometimes we may feel that the ossicle touches for any reason the patient may have some twitching or something like that. So I kept a small piece of cartilage over that. And you can also use incus with the ease on the foot plate. Only thing is we need to sculpture the same way as like this, after keeping a small piece of temporalis fascia and again the foot plate. So a variety of techniques, variety of the materials are available. I have also used in only one situation to just check how this Teflon torque will do. And this patient after did well, after 5 years also there was no exclusion. The simple logical thinking about why we should not use Teflon is that when you use Teflon piston to do stapedectomy, when it is not getting extruded out, why not in ossiculoplasty? Then that made me to use this. And the only thing is we need to cover it with a small piece of cartilage so that it will not get extruded. And this is the picture, the same surgery that you have seen. This is the post-op 3 years. The patient still has the implant in the mid ear without getting extruded. The only thing is, as far as possible, better to use autograft or homograft. In my experience, I used these titanium things and burnt my fingers, and most of them have got extruded. And I have to do revision surgery for almost 15 of my patients. The failures, if at all I have in my ear surgery, are only because of these implants. I'm fascinated by because it is easy for us to use, because they are custom made. There is no extra time needs to be spent during surgery. So that tempted me to use them, and I burnt my fingers many of the times. They got extruded. I have to do revision surgery for 10 to 12 people. Then I stop using them altogether and I come back to my old technique. So my message is that long and short columella works better in my hands. There are a variety of techniques, horizontal or transposition techniques described, but what I learned and what I have seen and what I am practicing gives good results. The simple technique and a clear technique would give good results than a complicated procedure. Shaping the exact length of the graft material is the most important thing, and we need to stabilize the articular graft with the gel foam around. And please standardize your technique. Never try newer things unless you have a problem with your own technique, because there are so many fashionable techniques that are being shown by so many people. They may be very good in their hands, but what works in your hand is the best one for you. So the outcome depends not only on the experience of the surgeon, but also the instrumentation, middle ear mucosa condition, and the graft material that we are using. We have conducted 2 to 3 courses so far, the hands-on osteoplasty, wherein 4 hours of intense training we have given to almost 8 people in one batch, and we will be conducting the same courses in the days to come along with our temporal bone sessions. And thank you for the opportunity.